All right, guys, welcome back to the channel this morning. We got a lot of things going on. Tonight, we've got a big guest coming on, Tommy Boy out of Portland. He's going to talk about all the Antifa. And if Antifa's real, it damn sure seems like it's real. And I think it's more organized than what I ever thought looking into and talking with Tommy Boy offline. I never realized how organized that these clowns were. I never realized it. And it started me thinking, and I watched this interview last night with Kash Patel over on with Brett Baer. And the more that I looked into things, the more that I realized there are people that are hanging around and hanging in to the system because they're being kept in place for a reason. And the reason is an internal sabotage. It's no different than what's going on right now within MAGA, within the MAGA movement. It's no different than that. And it's pretty damn dangerous because the people that we thought were here to benefit us, to benefit America, are not necessarily doing what's best for America at all. We got a lot to talk about this morning, but I'm going to tell you right now, it is getting a little worse. It's getting a little more like you better be very careful who you trust, who you allow in your inner circles. That's the big one. Let's roll.
Magistrate judge who made a finding of probable cause and said, here's your search warrant. Here are the parameters of that search warrant. And what you saw play out last week was the execution of that search warrant, just like we would do anywhere else. The target of that search warrant was a warehouse down in Fulton County. Federal agents from the FBI went down there and followed the parameters of the search warrant and secured the evidence. And from there, we maintained the chain of custody and do what we always do, which is to follow the evidence.
But the probable cause is that there was a crime in the election tabulation.
So the probable cause is still in the search warrant, which is under seal, so I'm not able to discuss.
All right, but let me talk about this other element of it, and that is the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard. New York Times writes this: Mrs. Gabbard used her cell phone to call President Trump, who did not initially pick up, and then called back shortly after. The president addressed the agents, the FBI agents, on the speakerphone, asking them questions as well as praising and thanking them for their work on the inquiry. One U.S. official said the president gave no substantive direction to the investigators. Unusual for a president to get involved on the agent level. Paint the picture there.
Sure. The one thing I think that many, if not every FBI agent and personnel and law enforcement across the country love about this president is that he backs them. He backs the blue, he gives them resources, and he's always...
It is interesting that the president is down to this granular level. And I believe the reason being is because it's so deep. The corruption is so deep into the system that he has to be. He has to be involved. And I think whether you like some of these people around him or not, he has put people around him that he trusts. Trump is all about loyalty. You may not be the best, but if you're loyal and you do what's right for him, and he can trust you when he goes to bed at night, when he sleeps those 2.5 hours.
Congratulatory of their efforts. And so to hear from the commander-in-chief for my troops on the ground there was a pretty cool thing. And we were pleased to hear the president come in and say, thank you for what you're doing. That is maybe unusual from prior administrations, but I take it every chance I get to thank the men and women in law enforcement.
And Director Gabbard put out a statement saying that she accompanied the FBI Deputy Director Bailey and the acting special agent down there to oversee this search warrant. But doesn't it suggest that there is some international element to this?
How many of you believe there's an international element to this? We had a guest on the other night, Rob O'Neill, the guy that, ventilated bin Laden. And he was very adamant that what we're seeing was a deal made, a deal given, a deal forced to get Maduro out. Rose, thank you for becoming a member. Larry, thank you for the super chat. And Larry became a new member. Larry, thank you so much. Memberships are what keep the channel alive. I always try to get 5 to 10 new members every live stream. With the memberships, you get access to a Discord server, a little private chat. Your name's in green. It's easier for me to see your comments. They come up in a different category. So I'm going to be able to interact with you better. And if you have something to say, there is no better way to get your point across, to get your comments read out loud than a super chat. I miss a lot of comments that are probably amazing and that need to be heard and need to be seen by the people watching. But if it's not attached to a super chat, I can't guarantee anything. So there you go. So join the channel and remember, it's 10 cents a day. It's $3 a month with the lowest level membership. $3 a month. You spend more than that on mocha chocolatas down at Starbucks, because I know all of you are Starbucks people. Every damn one of you.
The doomers are taking advantage with the liberal media. They're like best buddies now of an effort to sabotage this movement from the inside. I have seen it. There's a lot of influence campaigns going on to fracture this movement from the inside. And the liberal media loves it. Here's a Hollywood Reporter piece about it. MAGA Civil War. When your enemies are screwing up, like, don't stop them. That's what they want. That's why they're all buddies. They like quote each other. This is why this matters in the midterms. Well, of course the midterms matter. They're elections. No, they really matter. If we lose these midterms, this president will be impeached. And the last 2 years, all of the great stuff, the economy, energy, GDP growth, war on cancer, productivity super cycles, national defense, crime rates, GDP explosions coming up. All of this stuff I told you about is going to be donezo, man. We're going to be dealing with an AOC-led impeachment for 2 years and a bunch of goons every day on TV. Mr. President, you drink a Diet Coke last night? I promise you it is going to shut down everything. We're going to lose all the chairmanships. We cannot sap the energy out of the room with an unrealistic doomer-like atmosphere.
It doesn't accomplish anything. It does not accomplish anything to just wake up negative. You're going to be lonely. You're going to push the people away from you that were typically on your team, right? I mean, we know this. If you don't realize it, just look around. Just look around. Now, there were some questions asked as well last night by Brett Baer regarding Butler, Pennsylvania. I believe there's still more information that is not being released because I believe there's some tie-ins to, I'll just be honest with you, I believe there's a lot of tie-ins to the Democrat Party with what's happening or what happened in Butler, Pennsylvania. Listen to what Director Kash Patel says and tell me if he doesn't allude to a bigger investigation with tie-ins to the Democrat Party. I think he had to be very careful about this.
Provide support.
All right, well, let me take you to a different shooter, and that is the Butler shooter. I asked you about this at Quantico. Take a listen. Will we know a lot more about him? Is there more to know?
I don't know that there's more to know, but you're going to know everything we know. And we don't feel that the American people have been given the information they need on that. And we're digging through the files and we're getting them a more robust picture of what happened.
So that was May 2025. I mean, I don't think we, the public, have a more robust picture of that shooter.
Well, I think that's an unfair supposition. We, the FBI, have put out all the information that we possibly and legally can while protecting any ongoing matters that are unrelated.
But he's
Did you hear that word? What they legally can put out. That's the big word that is so glossed over. That tells me there is some other investigation, maybe a grand jury that is being convened. But how many of you believe that the FBI, along with other law enforcement, would not be corrupted from within by holdovers from the previous administration? We're seeing it with the judges. We're seeing it with the United States military. I've got a story here that's going to blow your damn mind.
dead.
Well, yes, he's very much dead. But at the same time, Brett, we at the FBI have to follow the parameters of our investigation and what the law allows us to release.
I get it, but what were the cell phones? Why don't we know who he was talking to? What exactly happened? I feel like we haven't gotten the whole picture about Butler even now.
But here's the thing, Brett. we can provide, and just an example here, we've provided 40,000 pages of documents to Congress. That's a 400% increase from the prior two directors. We will continue to provide this information with our partners on Capitol Hill when we are legally able. It's never going to be enough for everyone. It's never going to be enough. But what we are saying is, we're not saying trust us. We're saying we did an exhaustive search of that. We presented that information to the Department of Justice.
I didn't know that this Thomas Crooks had 40 cell phones. 40 cell phones. I was not aware of that. Let me show you this one. I think this is one that's going to rile up some people. Right here. We got any veterans in the chat? Do you think it's treason for someone that works for the military to do some nefarious stuff while they're working for the military? You think it's treason? The first thing I think of coming out of the submarine community is the guy by the name of John Walker. If you know who John Walker is, just type 1 in the chat. If you have no clue who John Walker is, I'll tell you. He was a United States Navy warrant officer. He was heavily involved in the submarine community to the point where he was given, he had access to movement orders, to op orders, to patrol areas for ballistic missile submarines. And for the better part of 10, maybe 20 years, there's no real number on that, he was passing information to the Russian Navy or to the Russian government. And I believe and he was, it's treason. He died in prison, thank God. I think he died of like butthole cancer. I think he had butthole cancer. And if he did, that's very fitting. Very fitting. But veterans, post your branch of service in the chat. Let me show you this. Tell me what you think of this. Right? This is a big one. Scoop. Meet Matt Sanders. Matt Sanders, an intelligence analyst for the United States Air Force. He was captured attending an anti-ICE protest wearing an Antifa t-shirt. Why is an Antifa dude working in our Air Force? He also called, I say cars because that's what I would like to see drive through the crowd. Why is an Antifa dude? He also called Border Commander Greg Bovino the N-word, and went on a deranged anti-Trump conspiracy rant. Look into this ASAP, Secretary of War. Matt Sanders. Does that look like somebody we need in our United States military? Is that what we need right now? Intelligence analyst, United States Air Force, Clemson University, studied at Tucson, been in the Air Force for 11 years, 8 months. Look at what he says here. Our country is now a subsidiary of the Trump organization, meaning we're used by an oligarch to expand the wealth of him, his family, and his wealthy pals. Trump is setting up his own private account based in Qatar. Really? This is where money seized from Venezuelan oil sales would go. He wants this account because he wants to enact policies that require money, typically in our democracy. That would require your elected officials in Congress to approve of said policies to get money. If he has his own slush fund that circumvents congressional approval, I want to laugh reading this. That means one person can do whatever is his best interest. You are witnessing the death of democracy, and you have the power to stop it. Don't be a bootlicker. Hashtag no kings. Matt Sanders. Right? United States Air Force. Does that one bother you? I think it bothers me. Larry, thank you for becoming a new member. Special K, new member as well. Thank you. Tommy Radman, thank you for becoming a member. Real KRO. I can't say that word. They're asleep right down there. If I say that word, they'll freak out. Thank you. Good morning, Vet Biker. Free guitar lessons for vets. My email's in the chat. Absolutely. Thank you very much, Tommy, and thank you for the super chat.
Amen. Hallelujah. And boom shakalaka.
Tom and Rhonda, 7 months you've been a member. You've been hanging in there like a hair in a biscuit. What do you think about this when you see a member of the United States Air Force intelligence analyst? I haven't had enough coffee this morning. What does that tell you about what you're seeing in the United States military? What does it tell you about what you're seeing in the FBI? It tells me that there are holdovers in every form of government that are causing problems up and down the chain of command. Yeah. Somebody said they're not shocked. Well, he is Air Force. Nah, I don't want to make fun of the Air Force. I don't want to make fun of the Air Force at all. I'm a veteran, and I value all of those fellow veterans that are in the chat. Every damn one of them. Let's go here. Let's go right here. This is big. This has got legs. I put out a video about it yesterday, kind of sitting out back.
The surface about the SAVE Act. This is a bill to safeguard our elections and require proof of U.S. citizenship before voting, among other provisions. Now, our conversation on this started with Scott Pressler, who has been calling on Senate Majority Leader John Thune to allow a vote every day since January 1st. Earlier this month, Scott joined me here to make his case.
The American people demand Senate Majority Leader John Thune bring a vote on the Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act, and let's have proof of citizenship to register to vote. We have this one moment in history with Donald Trump at the helm, with a trifecta Republican government. I say nuke the gosh darn filibuster, pass law after law after law.
That interview went viral and senators went into action. Senator John Cornyn said he spoke to Leader Thune about the SAVE Act. Senators Katie Britt and Dave McCormick signed on as co-sponsors, and several others like Rick Scott ramped up his support publicly. Here's Senator Scott last week.
However we do this, all right, whether it's part of the spending bill this week, whether it's a separate bill, whether we have to stay there, and do a standing filibuster, whatever it's going to take, we got to get this passed. We've got to secure our elections. I can't imagine a Republican senator that would vote against, making sure that you have to have proof of citizenship to register to vote and to vote. Now, how could anybody? I don't know how a Democrat could be against this.
Yeah. After that interview came an avalanche of support for the SAVE Act. You see it here. The tally now sits at 49 co-sponsors, and Senate Majority Leader John Thune said this week he will allow a vote.
They are still modifying the bill. It includes right now a requirement that you be a citizen to register to vote, but it doesn't include a requirement that to vote you be a resident. That's being fixed and addressed, and I think the new bill that comes out hopefully will deal with that. But I mean, at some point we'll have that vote.
What do you think about this? I believe we have to do this. I believe we have to fix our government. We have to fix what I would call lack of accountability, lack of regulation. If we're allowing people to tear us apart from within, while at the same time destroying our own, man, this is so bad. This is so bad right now. What's occurring? We have to fix this. And I don't know if the Republicans have the guts, the capabilities, the cojones to fix it. I don't know if they do. I really don't know if they can do it. It's a damn sad situation, is what it is. It's a damn sad situation that we actually have to be worried about this. Chris Armstrong, thank you for becoming a member. There is no reason that we should actually have to worry about election integrity in the greatest country in the world. That's the problem that really freaking bothers me. And Scott Pressler, we've had Scott on the show here before. I love Scott. He's done more for voter turnout than a hell of a lot of people. And if you don't believe that, you got problems. You got some real problems. We're streaming over on X, Kick, Rumble, Twitch, Facebook. We're streaming everything. We're streaming everywhere this morning. That Johnny Cash song, I've been everywhere, man. Right? What are your thoughts on this? We got a poll in the chat. 99% of you think we need to pass the SAVE Act now. Okay. I can go along with that. I can absolutely go along with what you're seeing. You want to see something happen in the United States military that has no room for people you can't trust? Imagine if there's a little bit of distrust in a war in a war zone on a ship that's being attacked.
People who are afraid to go to the hospital because our hospitals have occupying paramilitary forces. Let me be very blunt, and I'm going to just say it. The greatest threat to the homeland right now is called the Department of Homeland Security.
Unidentified masked men are kidnapping people off the streets based solely on their accent or their appearance.
Democrats doubling down on their anti-ICE rhetoric as a partial government shutdown hits day 4. Many House Democrats are demanding a dramatic overhaul to DHS for any funding bill to move forward. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt is with us now for our private briefing. And Caroline, we bid good Tuesday afternoon to you. I want to get into all of the machinations on Capitol Hill in just a second, but we've got some breaking news. The breaking news is that CENTCOM confirms that a U.S. F-35 fighter jet shot down an Iranian Shahed drone that was making an aggressive approach toward the USS Abraham Lincoln. This on the same day that a couple of Iranian gunboats were threatening a U.S.-flagged tanker in the Gulf of the Persian Gulf, threatening to board it. So what is going on, to the best of your knowledge, and what is the president going to do about what appear to be some threatening moves being made by Iran, even as Steve Witkoff prepares to meet with the foreign minister, Araghchi, either in Oman or Turkey on Friday?
Well, sure, John, and thank you for having me today. I did speak with folks over at the Pentagon this morning who said that CENTCOM acted both appropriately and necessarily to protect our U.S. personnel and equipment in the region. So CENTCOM did make the decision to shoot down that Iranian drone. It was unmanned. It was acting aggressively towards our USS Lincoln, which we know that aircraft carrier is in the region at the direction of President Trump. As for the president, he remains committed to always pursuing diplomacy first. But in order for diplomacy to work, of course, it takes two to tango. You need a willing partner to engage. And so that's something the president and Special Envoy Witkoff are exploring and discussing right now. Special Envoy Witkoff is set to have conversations with the Iranians later this week. Those are still scheduled as of right now. But of course, the president has always a range of options on the table, and that includes the use of military force. The Iranians know that better than anyone. Just look no.
So think about this. A military analyst with the Air Force involved with Antifa. Do you think that that same military analyst would tinker or get involved in any funny business regarding military operations? If there's one molecule of doubt, it destroys the entire process. Destroys the entire process. If there is one iota of doubt, that's just the way that it works. That's the way integrity works. That is the way the military works. Right? Somebody said, convince me that he hasn't already done it. Whoa, that's a good point. That is a very, very good point. Do me a favor, follow me over on X. I'm the sub-vet retired sailor right here. We're live streaming right there. You can see us. You can see I got the same shirt on. Bamboo. It's made out of bamboo. It's really soft, silky like my skin. I need to put out a little public service announcement this morning. I know that many of you watching know me, but I don't know all of you. If you come to my place of work to bring me a bumper sticker, and yeah, that happened yesterday. Do not do that. Do not come to where I work at and interfere with me and the people I work with and the veterans I serve during my job. Do not do that. I don't care how much you think you know me. I don't care how much you think we are friends. Mail it to me. Something bad could happen if you do things like that. Okay? And not only that, it's weird. It's real weird. And if you think you want to come to where I live, good luck. Good luck. There are too many freaking psychos out there. And I'm going to treat you like a psycho until the police or the coroner confirm that you're not a psycho. All right? Don't come where I work. Do not come to where I live. Do not. Do not be that level of... Don't make those bad decisions. Do not put me in a bad decision. Okay? If you have something you want to send me that is so important that you believe that you need to come to my place of work to bring me a freaking bumper sticker, put it in the mail. There's the address. The address is in every video I make. Do not come to where I work. It's called doxing. You don't do that. I don't care who you are. I don't care how nice you look. I don't care what you're driving. I don't care about the stories that you may have. Do not come to where I work, or God forbid, come to where I live. That is crossing every line. That is crossing every boundary. And some of those boundaries you may not be able to get back across. That's the public service announcement for today. Okay? As nicely as I'm warning you, don't do it. All right? Let's get back to this regularly scheduled trolling of the Democrat Party. Look at this one.
Isn't that ironic? Massive gates keeping people out. I thought Billy didn't believe in borders. Well, according to the driveway, Billy does believe in borders. She believes in massive gates keeping people out. A couple of cameras up there as well. The lights are on, so somebody must be home. Let us in, please, Billy. We are here because this is stolen land, Billy, and we think we should be given access to your quite lovely $3 million mansion. And such is Billy's concern for security and privacy. It's surrounded by pretty decent security fencing. Very nice indeed. Massive security hedges as well. First of all,
somebody said fake news, Shirley. Now this guy works for GB News. I think it's pretty funny. I think it's amazing that this guy actually went to some celebrity moron's house and on stolen land, right? I think it's amazing. I love everything about it. I'm not famous. No, I'm not famous. I'm a normal dude with a job. Normal dude with a job. Serve my country. I'm not famous. You see me out buying dog food, I'm that guy. That's what I'm using all the super chats and memberships for today. I've got 9 veterans that have service dogs, and I'm trying to help them feed their service dogs because I know they could use a little extra help. If you want to donate, feel free. If you want to donate via the Cash App, there's a little scanner thing up there at the top. Feel free. I'd love your help. If you see me at Sam's Club and you want to say hello, feel free. If you see me out and about, feel free.
Brothers and sisters in Christ, I want y'all to be careful as we move forward. Everybody is reading these Epstein files, and as they're making video responses to it, they're all starting to say, don't trust anybody. Don't support anybody. Get away from the political parties altogether. I want you to understand the deception in the emotion of what they're saying. I understand that people don't like what they're reading, but you still have to understand that God is using Donald Trump. God is using this administration to expose the things like the Epstein files. And there's so much more. It's so much more that has to come out, and so much more that's going to happen. So don't allow people to attack you or trick you into all of a sudden going against Donald Trump and going against his administration. That's not the goal. The goal is to continue exposing the evil. Why? Because God is removing the veil. As God continues to remove the veil, this will become a split decision. Either you choose the way of God or you choose the way of Satan. The political parties themselves will begin to disappear as people start to choose the side of good or evil. And right now, the side of good, whether people believe it or not, is the side that Trump is on, because God is using that side. If you don't believe what I'm saying, let's take it back to the Old Testament. Would you want to be standing against King David or with King David? If you answered that with saying that you would stand with King David, then you picked a political side. But you picked that political side because you knew that God was standing with David. God is standing with Trump. God is using Trump. God is using Nicki Minaj. God is using MAGA. God is using us. And as the spiritual veil begins to fall, you will begin to understand that this is more than MAGA. This is a spiritual choice to fight with God in a war against demons. God bless.
Is he right? I watched that. Somebody sent me that in an email last night, and I watched it. I firmly believe what we're seeing is a battle between good and a battle between evil. There is no in between. Something that else that came across last night, and somebody sent me this, is Elijah Schaffer. Do you know what's going on with Elijah Schaffer right now? Apparently his X account is down. Elijah Schaffer is this, what do you want to call it? Journalist. He has come out and made a post on X. My wife divorced me, took my kids, and I have no idea where they are. I'm sober. I'm sad. I have good support. Thank you for everyone supporting me during this rough season. Apparently, there's information saying that he's the one that filed for divorce, but his wife and kids are missing. And here's some of the X posts that are deleted. I don't know where my wife and kids are. Can't get a hold of them. They are filed as missing persons. They've gone missing. Law enforcement confirms someone in my household set me up. They planted pharmaceuticals, said I was a criminal. This will be a public trial by the FBI. I'm a victim of serious targeted felony crimes. I'm not going to end my own problems. They've kidnapped my family. They've stolen my money. I will bring justice. I need the public to know. I'm in Virginia. The government is aware. I believe the FBI is trying to destroy my life and kill me. Here's another post by my stolen car was recovered by U.S. Customs. I'm the victim of a serious set of felonies including gun theft. What is going on with Elijah Schaffer? More importantly, where is his family? Where is Elijah Schaffer's family? Is there something nefarious going on there? I fear for this guy's family's return and well-being. Veritas, that's what you get with celebrity status, Ben. Part of your life now. I'm not a celebrity. And I don't care who you are. I'm not going to interfere with you at your place of work. I would never go bother you while you're selling fries at the McDonald's at the drive-thru. I'll never bother you at your drive-thru. Never. What is going on with Elijah Schaffer? That is a weird situation. I hope his family's safe. But I smell funny business is what I smell. I smell something really stinky there. Apparently, the wife may have used some pro-choice stuff against an unborn child. Guy's got a really nice house. He's got a really nice house. Look at this. Let's go here.
No one believes me that my life doesn't make any sense right now, but this is the way back to my hotel room, and it doesn't make any sense. I now have to leave my hotel room because of a flood. This is very weird. But what's going on here, okay? It's very bizarre. So there's some water moving here. No one believes me that my life doesn't.
So his wife and kids are missing and he's filming videos in, wow. Wife and kids are missing and he's posting videos like this. I don't understand what's going on here. This is a previous thing where he used to work for Gateway Pundit. I don't believe he works there anymore. Whew. This is it's not good. Let's go here. Got one for you. I'm going to refill my coffee while this plays.
Democrats used to believe that border security and immigration enforcement were just common sense ideas. Don't believe it? Take their word for it.
Americans are right to demand better border security and better enforcement of the immigration laws.
We simply cannot allow people to pour into the United States undetected, undocumented, unchecked.
We've had 5 million undocumented workers come over the borders. It has become an extraordinary problem.
All Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. And we must do more to stop it.
Biden, yes or no, would you allow the cities to ignore the federal law?
No.
Any city should listen to the Department of Homeland Security. The city made a mistake not to deport someone that the federal government strongly felt should be deported.
Just because your child gets across the border, that doesn't mean the child gets to stay.
We do not think the comprehensive health care benefits should be extended to those who are undocumented workers and illegal aliens. We do not want to do anything to encourage more illegal immigration.
People say, well, why can't you stop illegal immigrants from coming here? And the number one answer we give is when they come here, they can get jobs, get benefits against the law because of fraud.
Illegal immigration is wrong, plain and simple.
Open borders. You're doing away with the concept of a nation state.
Our nation, like all nations, has the right and obligation to control its borders, and no matter how decent they are, no matter their reasons, the 11 million who broke these laws should be held accountable.
For decades, these weren't controversial or radical ideas. The only thing that changed is them.
What do you think about that? I got a little friend when I was in the kitchen. There we go. Little friend showed up. He woke up. He wanted a treat. There we go, Fred. All right, hop down. Hop down. Come here, Daisy. Daisy wanted to come over and say hello and get a treat too. These are some treats that were sent by a company that wants to partner with me to help veterans with service dogs. And the company is called, right here, I'll bring it up, Cattle Dog Cookie Company. And what they're going to do is, Cattle Dog Cookie Company, let me pull up their website, Cattle Dog Cookie Company. Let me see here. What they're going to do is, I got a nice email from them as well. What they're going to do is, if you buy some treats from them, they're going to send me some treats to provide to veterans that I work with. Cattle Dog Cookie Company. And it's all natural stuff. It's all natural. All natural. Here's the about them. 100% natural premium dog food treats. Let's see here. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. And there's, I believe that's the co-owner, him and the wife. And they just want to help veterans. They want to help vets. They want to help the people. And look at that golden doodle. That's what I got, a golden doodle. So I put the link in the chat. Cattle Dog Cookie Company. It's called Buy One, Send One. Not buy one, get one free. You buy one and you send one. I think it's amazing. I'm so glad that these people watch my channel. They reached out to me out of nowhere. And I will say this, Fred and Daisy love, these are the Paw Peroni pizza treats. Paw Peroni. And it smells like pepperoni. And I may or may not have tasted it. And it may or may not taste like pepperoni. I'll just say that. If it's good enough for my dogs, it's good enough for me, right? I'll try it. I'll taste whatever it is they're trying to sell or that they're trying to get my dogs to eat. I love my dogs. I love my dogs probably more than I do most people. Let's go here. Let's see what we got going on this morning. How do we do this? Man, I'm so out of touch this morning. I slept like 11 hours. I believe I'm still not over the entire flu thing. I think it's got some like lingering effects. I think I've got some very lingering effects that has really still hung in there. Lines are open 615-475-7864. Get a few calls in this morning. Let's see here. Talk to me. Line 2. What do you got, line 2?
James from Myrtle Beach, a Marine Corps veteran.
Good morning, Semper Fi.
Semper Fi, bro. I was just calling to see if you've seen James O'Keefe's new investigation on the FBI, undercover investigation.
I saw some of that. Oh my God. I mean,
crazy.
How do these people, James?
How do these people get security clearance?
How do they get security clearances? How do they not recognize James O'Keefe? How do they not realize this?
I don't understand it either. And I don't understand how you still keep a job after it comes out. Don't make no sense why you keep these people working with you. It's insane.
James, let me ask you this. This Air Force veteran that I showed in the chat this morning, that is an analyst that has leaked information and works with Antifa. Perception,
he should be put to death.
Perception is reality. That is treason.
Absolutely.
This guy is leaking information that could get men and women in uniform or even out of uniform killed. This is treason.
You know as well as I do, being was in the military during wartime. If we were to disobey a direct order, they could have us shot.
1,000%. 1,000%. You know, the best place, a really good place would be as well. Most people don't realize that Fort Leavenworth is ran by Marines.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
You get a bunch of angry E3s and E4s running a prison, not going to be a nice place to live. E4 Mafia.
Well, they should just send a rifle company to the prison and just save taxpayers.
I agree. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. God bless you.
Brother. Appreciate it.
Take care. Thank you for the call.
Bye, brother. Later. You too.
That's James out of South Carolina. He's talking about this story right here. I'll pull this real quick. He's talking about this story. James O'Keefe exposes FBI investigator admitting that no one will face accountability for the fraud exposed. This guy has since been fired and charged. Fired and charged. And I believe, see if I can find this here. What he's talking about. I'll just play a little bit of this. How about this?
He's like a diva. Is that 110% he's a diva. Are you serious? 110%. He's lazy. No, he's not good at his job.
I've said that if arrests do not happen, if people are not held to account, then we'll have no choice but to investigate the investigators themselves.
I am a security specialist at the FBI, so I do background checks, investigations, that type of stuff. I've been working there for 5 years now.
On hidden camera, this FBI security specialist tells us the quiet part out loud.
So you don't think there's going to be any major arrests with Cash Patel or the FBI? No. Also, I don't think anybody would ever go to prison.
Now, thanks to the brave work of citizen journalists like Nick Shirley, Americans were able to see what actually happens in Minnesota outside these daycare centers.
Do you think they're going to arrest people that are dealing with?
What did I tell you at the beginning? The current administration is battling people from within. It is an ongoing battle. Okay? Ongoing battle. I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is. There we go. Let me just delete that crap. I'll just delete that. I think James, the Marine that called in, is 100% right. It's treason. Death penalty, firing squad. As much as Elijah could be lying, but remember Cash Patel's wife sued him over Mossad connection comments? I don't know. I don't think Cash Patel's wife. I don't think Cash Patel's married. I don't think he's married. If you make comments, they have consequences. Defamation and libel are part of the law. God bless veterans, their pups. Thank you very much. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Yes, don't say that word. Going to try those dog cookies you mentioned yesterday. Cattle Dog Cookie Company. Cattle Dog Cookie Company. The really funny part is where they're located at. I got my first service dog in that same town. His name was Buddy. He was a red healer. Long rest his soul. Love the silent service. Thank you for your service, Ben. Thank you, JW, for the pups. Thank you very much. Tom, you're awesome, brother. God bless you. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Doesn't seem like anybody wants to call in this morning. Let's just go here. We don't have to take calls every day. That's fine. We do not have to take calls. I'm perfectly okay with doing this.
Here in Minnesota, a local realtor reached out to me to tell me about another way that Somalians are scamming Minnesotans out of their taxpayer dollars. In her community alone, Somalians have bought up over 455 homes. They buy these homes, claiming they're turning these homes into home health care centers. She says the way we know Somalians have bought these homes is because all of a sudden, extremely nice cars start showing up. Mercedes, BMWs, the nicest cars are parked in the driveway. And she said, by law, the state will not come out and inspect these homes and make sure these homes even have clients living in these homes. She also said, as a realtor, she cannot disclose to people wanting to buy homes in this neighborhood that Somalians have bought that home and they're using that as a home health care center. She said these homes can even take people in who've just been released from jail, and the neighborhood does not need to know about this. But she says many of these homes do not even have clients in them, but the state is writing them checks every month for the clients that the Somalians say are in these homes, and these Somalians are making millions of dollars off of these homes every year. The Somalians have figured out exactly the perfect plan as to how to scam Minnesota taxpayers out of their money.
I love this, that we're actually going to see some real action here. For the doomers in the chat, told you nothing was going to happen. You're so wrong. You are so wrong. It must be really pitiful to wake up knowing you're wrong. Wow. Man, I love this. I love the doom. Love it. Here we go.
On the evening of May 10th, 2023, President Donald J. Trump agreed to appear in a town hall on CNN, hosted by an incompetent fool named Caitlin Collins. Caitlin was disrespectful and nasty to President Trump.
You're a nasty person.
She interrupted him all night with disinformation and outright lies.
What's happening to our country
You
right
built
now?
about 52 miles of new wall when you were in office, Mr. President.
Effectively turning a town hall into a live debate. Very few people have ever debated Donald Trump and lived to tell about it. The next morning, Caitlin Collins was picked up on a roadside, blood-caked and screaming murder.
She wasn't, but that's funny. She wasn't picked up on a roadside. But Caitlin Collins is a loser. A real loser. And when you become part of the problem, when you become part of the news media that is just doing the work for the Democrat Party, you lose all credibility. And I don't believe that the news media right now has any semblance of credibility. Let's talk about this real quick for those of you that are Thomas Massie fans, and I'm sure we have some in here. The donors that are giving money or did give money to the squad, Kamala Harris, Barack Obama, and Hillary Clinton, are now giving money to Thomas Massie. They know exactly what they're doing, using Massie to stop President Trump's agenda. Ed Gallren is proudly endorsed by President Trump and supported by the MAGA movement. He's running against Massie. Look at the money here coming in. Harris Victory Fund, right? Look at the names. They're all the same. Hillary Victory Fund, Obama for America, Rashida Tlaib for Congress. All of these people are donating to Thomas Massie. They're all donating to the Massie Fund. He is a Democrat. He has changed so much that he's unrecognizable. I don't know about you, but I think Kentucky has some real problems. America has some real problems. And I think if you get rid of some of the problems one by one, we're probably going to be better off. Be rad, be real. Thank you very much for joining the channel as a member. It's always nice to do that. Be rad for real. Became a YouTube member. Oh, here we go. King of Biltong, thank you so much for the super chat. $5. Our tax money hard at work. Immigrants learning how to live well. Yesterday, Anton had my guitar lesson. There's a lady that is right after me. She takes violin lessons, and she's from South Africa. And I gave her a bag of your biltong. Her name is Judy. I gave her a bag of your biltong. There you go. Thank you very much, Anton. Go check out Biltong USA. There's a link in the chat. Longtime sponsors in the show. Doesn't pay me for any advertising. Just sends me some biltong. If you become a member on the channel, go to the community post page and check that out. And get into the private Discord chat. There's a private server just for veterans. Or not for veterans, just for members. Just for members. Let's go here real quick before I bounce out of here. How about this? See what you think.
The Epstein files, you talked about Democrats who were in there. Elon Musk was also in there, and so was your Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick and correspondence that he had with him. Did you read those new files that were published by the Department of Justice?
I have a lot of things I'm doing, a lot of things I'm doing. I don't know. You mentioned two names. I'm sure they're fine. Otherwise, it would have been major headlines.
A lot of women who are survivors of Epstein's are unhappy with those redactions that came out. Some of them, entire witness interviews are totally blacked out. Do you think that they should be more transparent?
The fact that they thought they released too much. I heard that, and you tell me something else. So, I think it's really time for the country to get onto something else. Now that nothing came out about me, other than it was a conspiracy against me, literally, by Epstein and other people. But I think it's time now for the country to maybe get onto something else.
But what would you say to people who feel like they haven't gotten justice, Mr. President?
Something that people care about. Yeah, what do you say? Go ahead.
What would you say to the survivors who feel like they haven't gotten
justice? You are
justice?
the worst reporter.
What would you say to the survivors? Where's the list that Marjorie Taylor Greene was going to read? Where was that? For the people that say that Donald Trump doesn't care about the victims, if he didn't care about the victims, why would he release the list? Huh? Why not? You know what? I see somebody posting about General Patton. You've posted about 80 comments about General Patton. I'm sure that he's a family member, very important, but man, okay. Thank you very much for the education on there. Right? I love this comment. He doesn't care about the victims. Strictly Hydra. Your oatmeal god. Joe Biden, did he care about the victims? Did he release the documents? I don't believe he did he? I don't believe Obama did either.
No wonder CNN has no ratings because of people like you. You know, she's a young woman. I don't think I've ever seen you smile. I've known you for 10 years. I don't think I've ever seen a smile.
Well,
on
I'm
your
asking
face.
you about survivors.
You know why?
You know,
Airborne, where are the victims? They're all adults now. Why wouldn't they come out? Why wouldn't they come out right now? This has been an absolute psyop by the Democrat Party for a long time, and it exploded in their face.
Why you're not smiling? Because you know you're not telling the truth, and you're a very dishonest organization, and they should be ashamed of you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here.
I just think right now, where are the victims? They're all adults. They're all adults. Why don't they come out? Why don't they come out and make an absolute statement? Why don't they come out and name names? What are they hiding from? I know a lot of them signed NDAs and took money from various banks and things like that. But why not? Somebody said, why didn't Bill Clinton release the names? Oh, you're thinking way outside of the box. You are thinking way outside of the box. But strictly Hydra. Why didn't they? Don, they've been paid for their silence. Huh. Victims all got paid off. It's kind of strange, isn't it? Why would they take money and then not come out and say anything? Was there an NDA? Did they agree to silence? Where's the parents of the victims? They're probably all dead because they were teenagers at that time. I really think, what does that say? Bill Clinton was an open secret in the Beltway. Took money for their services. That's a weird way to look at it. I can't argue with you. I'm trying to watch your stream on YouTube, but the link on your page is not working. What is your YouTube name? That's a troll comment. My name is the name of my channel. Be Rad, thank you very much for becoming a member. I really appreciate it. Means a lot. God save President Trump. For us, rhinos get nothing. You're absolutely right. I see somebody's got a George Patton profile there for you, Jeremiah. Hillary is a practicing witch. I don't know about that. I'm not into witchcraft. I also don't watch horror movies. I don't watch horror movies. Sorry, I'm a bit of a sissy when it comes to that. I don't know how many of you watch horror movies. I'll tell you this. I've got 3 solid truths I'm going to tell you this morning. Number 1, let's see here. I'm not trolling. I'm authentically interested trying to watch your channel on YouTube. My channel is the Ben Dykes channel. Ben Dykes channel. That's me. Gordon. I'm just joking. I'm a very sarcastic dude. I'm going to give you 3 hard truths this morning. Number 1, Donald Trump is the greatest president in probably the last 150 years. Hard truth number one. Hard truth number two, the Democrat Party is on actual life support. They are running out of moves. The Epstein list was a move. It was wrong. The list wasn't wrong. The files were wrong. They tried to implicate Donald Trump and it blew up in their face. Number three, Roy Clark is the greatest guitarist to ever pick up anything with strings. Period. Those are three hard truths that if you accepted, your day would be better. People die when they come forward. Where are all the dead people? Who are all the dead people? Who are all the dead people? Gordon, thank you so much. Gordon, I'll put a link here in the chat. Gordon, if you're watching me on X, I'm putting a link there into the chat there. Right there. I just put it in there. Gordon, thank you for watching on X. Ben Dyke's channel. Where are all the Seth Rich was trying to come out with Ask Gene Hackman. So you think Gene Hackman was releasing something to do with the Epstein? Get over yourself. Yeah, right. Okay. Thank you very much, Tom, for the pups. Thank you so much. Yeah, today is Wednesday. I always go to Sam's Club on Wednesday. I buy dog food I've got 9 veterans that have service dogs. Tonight, we have a live stream scheduled for tonight. We are going to have on Tommy Boy from Portland. We're going to have Tommy Boy on tonight. That will be on the live stream tonight, Tommy Boy. And that's going to be at 7:30 tonight. 7:30 Central. We're going to have Tommy on tonight. Tommy for Trump. I have never talked to Tommy other than a few text messages. A lot of the money for the super chats tonight, I'm going to use to help Captain Jerry. Is it Captain Ron? No, that was a movie. Captain Ron was a movie. Captain Jerry, we're going to help tonight with getting it's 8:30 Eastern. We're going to talk about Tommy getting jumped. I'm going to try to help Tommy out as well. We're going to have him on the live stream tonight. So you'll have a chance as well to call in and talk to Tommy Boy. Would you like to do some phone calls with Tommy tonight? Yes or no in the chat. 1 for yes, 2 for no. I'll see if he wants to take some phone calls. I think it'd be a great idea. I think it'd be a good opportunity for you guys to get your rest in peace, Chris Farley. He was a crackhead. He did a lot of drugs. Too many drugs. Good comedian. But he had white comedian's disease. That is, drugs. Agree with you about Roy Clark. Greatest guitarist to ever pick up anything with strings. Tonight, it will be 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. We will have Tommy Boy on for a live stream. We're going to talk about what is going on in Portland. We're going to talk about the intricacies within Antifa. What about Jimmy Page? Jimmy Page, great guitarist. Roy Clark, better. Roy Clark, better. Roy Clark, greatest guitarist to ever pick up anything with strings without a shadow of a doubt. You can join me on Rumble, Kick, Twitch, X, all that stuff. I saw Roy Clark with Elvis in the Astrodome. Holy crap, that was a concert. Elvis, Navajo, Indian. He was here on stolen land, right? Why was Biden always hanging out with the girls? Seems weird to me. Well, if he was hanging with boys, he'd be gay. Hanging around with girls, he's a PDF. So there you go. Queen Bee, we love you too. All right, guys, gals, girls, I think we're going to get out of here. I got to head to work. and do not come to where I work at. Take care.